That viral video about the 5 sneaky questions jealous people ask, the one with millions of views that you probably saved. Yeah, that one. Here's what happened to me 2 days after watching it. My cousin asked, "How did you afford that new phone at a family gathering?" I knew it was question number one. I knew she was being jealous, but I still froze. I still explained. I still justified my purchase for 5 minutes while she smiled and nodded. Why? Because that video told me what to look for, but never told me what to do about it in real life. When your mom asks, when your coworker corners you, when everyone's watching and waiting for your answer. So I went back, studied all 5 questions, and figured out what's actually missing. Stay with me. By the end, you'll know exactly what to say, how to say it, and what to do in those awkward 5 seconds after. Setting boundaries without guilt is the ultimate sign you've outgrown someone's version of you. Question 1. Okay, so the viral video told you this question is a trap. How did you afford that? They're not curious, they're jealous. You bought something nice, and instead of saying congrats, they went straight for your wallet. We get it. That's question number one. But here's the problem they didn't solve. What do you actually say when your sister asks this in front of your entire family on Sunday dinner? When your boss asks about your new car in the office? When your childhood friend asks in a group chat with 10 other people watching? Because "I worked for it" sounds great in theory, but in real life? When you say it with the wrong tone, you sound defensive. When you say it too short, you look rude. When you say it and then there's silence, everyone feels awkward and now you're the one who made it weird. Here's what actually works. You need 3 things: the pause, the answer, and the redirect. Step 1. The pause. When they ask, "How did you afford that?" don't answer immediately. Take one breath. Just one. This stops you from over explaining and shows you're not rattled. Step 2. The answer. Keep it short but warm. "I've been saving up for a while." Or "I worked some extra hours." Or simply, "I budgeted for it." Notice, you answered. You weren't rude, you just didn't give them the detailed financial breakdown they were fishing for. Step 3. The redirect. Immediately after your answer, shift the conversation. "Hey, have you tried that new restaurant?" Or "How's your project going?" Full example. They say, "Wow, how did you afford those shoes?" You say, "Been saving. They had a sale. Have you been to the new mall yet?" You answered, you stayed friendly, and you moved on. They have nowhere to go with it. No drama, no defense, just boundaries with a smile. The real test, if they push back with, "But still, those are expensive," that's when you know it's jealousy, not curiosity. Real curiosity stops after one answer. Jealousy keeps digging. Your response: "I'm happy with them." Anyway, and redirect again. Question 2. The video said this question plants doubt. Are you sure that's a good idea? Makes you second guess yourself. Makes you feel like maybe you're making a mistake. True. But here's what they missed. Sometimes the person asking this actually loves you. Sometimes it's your mom who watched you fail before. Sometimes it's your best friend who's genuinely worried. Sometimes they're not jealous. They're scared for you. So how do you tell the difference? Because responding with, "Yes, I'm sure and I'm going for it," to someone who genuinely cares makes you look like the arrogant one who doesn't listen. Here's the real problem. You need to separate jealousy doubt from love doubt, and you need to do it in 3 seconds while they're staring at you waiting for an answer. The 3 second test. Ask yourself, what did they say before this question? Jealousy doubt shows up alone. Are you sure that's a good idea? Love doubt comes with context. I'm worried about you. Are you sure? What's your backup plan? See the difference? One questions your judgment. One questions your preparation. Here's how to respond to each. If it's jealousy doubt, no context, just a question, say, "Yes, I'm sure. I've thought it through." Then change the subject. Don't defend. Don't explain your 5-year plan. Just firm and done. If it's love doubt, they're genuinely worried, say, "I appreciate you caring. I've thought about it and here's why I'm doing it." Then give them one reason, not 10, one. This shows you're not being reckless, but you're also not asking permission. The follow-up test. After you answer, watch what they do next. Jealous people will dismiss your reason. "Well, I still think it's risky," or "I could never do that." Loving people will engage. Okay, what's your plan? Or how can I support you? That response tells you everything, and now you know whether to keep sharing with this person or keep them at a distance. Question 3. The video said jealous people attack your growth. Who do you think you are? You've changed. They want the old you back, the small you, the you who didn't threaten them. Absolutely true. But here's the part that keeps you up at night. What if you have changed? What if you're not the same person? What if you did outgrow them? And what if saying, I'm becoming who I'm meant to be, sounds so cringe and rehearsed that you can't even say it with a straight face? The real problem. You feel guilty for growing. You feel bad for leaving people behind. And when someone says you've changed, part of you wants to shrink back down just to make them comfortable again, just to keep the peace, just to prove you're still the same. But you're not, and that's okay. The problem is you don't know how to own it without sounding like a self-help Instagram post. Here's what actually helps. Stop defending that you haven't changed. You have changed. Own it. Simple responses that don't sound fake. Yeah, I have changed. I'm working on myself. You're right. I'm different. I like who I'm becoming. I'm not the same person I was last year. That's the point. No explanation, no apology, just truth. But here's the part they really didn't cover. What do you do when it's someone you actually care about? When it's your childhood friend who feels left behind? When you don't want to lose them, but you also won't shrink to keep them? You have this one conversation. I have changed. I'm growing. But that doesn't mean I don't care about you. It just means I can't be who I used to be. Can you accept who I'm becoming? Their answer tells you if the friendship survives. If they say, I guess I'm just not used to it, I'll try, there's hope. If they say, you think you're better than everyone now, it's already over. The hard truth. Some people are only friends with the version of you that makes them feel better about themselves. When you outgrow that version, they don't know how to be friends with the real you. That's not your fault. That's not your problem to fix. That's just growth showing you who's coming with you and who's staying behind. Let them stay. Question 4. The video said jealous people try to dim your light. Isn't that a little much? Do you really need all that attention? They make you feel like you're too much, too loud, too proud, too visible. Yeah, we know. But here's what actually happens in real life. You post something you're proud of, a win, a photo, an accomplishment, and someone comments, okay, we get it, or wow, humble much? And suddenly you feel embarrassed. You feel like maybe you are doing too much. Maybe you should post less, celebrate quieter, be smaller. The problem they didn't address. How do you know when you actually are being too much versus when someone just can't handle your shine? Because sometimes you do post too much. Sometimes you do make everything about you. Sometimes the problem isn't them being jealous, it's you being obnoxious. And nobody wants to be that person. Here's the honest check. Ask yourself, am I sharing because I'm genuinely excited or am I fishing for validation? If you posted your new car because you're proud, that's excitement. If you posted your new car to make your ex jealous or prove something to someone, that's validation seeking. One is healthy, one is insecure, and people can feel the difference. So here's what you do. If you know you're just excited and they're being jealous, ignore it. Seriously, don't respond to, isn't that a little much? Just keep celebrating, keep shining. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. Or if you must respond, I'm just happy, thanks for noticing. If you honestly think you might be overdoing it, check with someone you trust, someone who will be honest. Am I posting about this too much? Be real with me. If they say yes, dial it back. If they say no, keep going. The real lesson. There's a difference between being too much for them and being too much in general. Too much for them equals their jealousy problem. Too much in general equals your insecurity problem. Be honest with yourself about which one it is. Then act accordingly. And remember, people who love you don't count your wins. They don't keep track of how many times you celebrated. They just celebrate with you. If someone's counting, they're not your people. Question 5. The video said jealous people can't give you credit. Did someone help you with that? They assume someone else did it. They erase your effort. They steal your moment. True, but here's the thing nobody wants to admit. Sometimes people did help you. Sometimes you had support. Sometimes you didn't do it completely alone. And when someone asks, did someone help you with that? And the answer is actually yes, now what? Because if you say yes, you're giving credit away, downplaying yourself. But if you say no when it's not entirely true, you're lying and erasing the people who supported you. This is the real problem. How do you own your success while acknowledging support? How do you take credit without being dishonest? Here's the answer they didn't give you. You can say both things are true. The formula: I had support, but I did the work. Real examples. They ask, did someone help you with that project? You say, my manager gave me feedback, but I executed it all myself. They ask, who helped you get that promotion? You say, I had mentors who guided me, but I earned it through my work. See what happened there? You acknowledged support and claimed your effort. Both are true, both matter. The jealousy tell. Watch what happens after you answer. Real curiosity, that's awesome. How did you approach it? Jealousy, oh, so you had help. Dismissive tone. If they respond with dismissal, they were never asking out of genuine interest. They were fishing for a reason to discount you. When you genuinely did it alone, own it fully. Nope, I did this myself. No need to soften it, no need to add, but it was hard, or I got lucky. You did it. Say it. The uncomfortable truth. Some people will never be comfortable with your success, whether you had help or not, whether you're humble or not, whether you downplay it or not. Their discomfort is not your cue to shrink. Your success is not something to apologize for. Not to them, not to anyone. You worked for it, with help or without. Either way, it's yours. Claim it. So that's it. The 5 questions. The real problems. The actual solutions. Not the theory, not the just be confident advice. The practical, in the moment, what do I actually say when my sister asks me at dinner solutions? Because that viral video opened your eyes, but it left you standing there with your eyes open and no idea where to go. Now you know. You don't need to be mean. You don't need to cut everyone off. You just need boundaries that protect your peace while keeping your kindness intact. And that's exactly what you have now. If this helped you, hit that subscribe button. I break down viral advice and give you the part they always leave out, the part you actually need. Drop a comment telling me which question you've dealt with the most. The how did you afford that one? The are you sure? Doubt planting? Let me know. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, someone who's always explaining themselves, someone who shrinks around jealous people, someone who saved that original video but still doesn't know what to do, share this with them. Like this video so more people can find it. Because recognizing jealousy is step 1. Handling it without losing yourself, that's the real skill. Now go protect your peace. See you in the next one.